kind of sad today. Why is that? Jade Helm is coming to an end today.
And they didn't even pull off
and
the
nothing
goal.
happened. Yeah, I really thought there was going to be a takeover.
Today,
I thought
man.
Obama was taking over those states. I thought
he is going to take
all
over.
those gun-toting conservatives were going to have their guns ripped from their cold, dead hands, and the ones that gave them away willingly were going to be rounded up into Walmarts that were this whole time disguised as Walmarts, but were really detention camps. I'm really, really sad. But yeah, Jade Helm 15 comes to an end today. It's the end of that. What it really is was a military training exercise in an area that most resembled where we have a number of troops. The deserts of United States most closely probably resembles the Middle East. That's why you would go to those states and hold military exercises. But let's not forget those who pushed this Jade Helm 15 conspiracy theory about the conservatives having their guns taken away and being rounded up into Walmart detention camps. And I think there was also a China element that was brought in later on where there was the Chinese also hanging out. They had Chinese troops here and Obama was teaming up with them. Some bizarre stuff. But let's take a moment and remember those who helped spread this. Senator Rand Paul, who, when asked about it, said, I've gotten a few questions on it on the road, and I'm not sure exactly what is going on with that, but he promised he would look into the claims. Then there's also Texas Governor Greg Abbott, who ordered the Texas State Guard to monitor the training exercise. The governor actually moved away from a more measured response, knocking down those concerns at a public meeting on it. And that's why he sent the National Guard. The State Guard, I'm sorry. Then we also have Rick Perry. I feel like I'm beating up on a man when he's down.
You are.
But he said that normal Americans feared that the president would allow Islamic State militants to invade southwestern states. And that's sort of Obama's fault that they feel that way. It just shows how crazy things are happening right now. And then there's Senator Ted Cruz, also running for president. He said, I understand the reason for concern and uncertainty, because when the federal government has not demonstrated itself to be trustworthy in this administration, the natural consequence is that many citizens don't trust what it's saying. However, if I remember correctly, he also contacted the State Department or the Pentagon, I can't quite recall, and they said that they're just like training exercises, and he was like, oh, okay. So as long as Ted Cruz hears it for himself. And then let's not forget Louis Gohmert. Louis Gohmert. He said such labeling tends to... This was about Obama targeting conservatives in this Jade Helm 15. Such labeling tends to make people who have grown leery of federal government overreach become suspicious of whether their big brother government anticipates certain states may start another civil war or be overtaken by foreign radical Islamist elements, which have been reported to be just across our border. When my own commander-in-chief, through his subordinates, is just fine with, for games purposes, declaring an enemy of 2 or more of your own states, I got a real problem with that. That is one of the most insensitive, outrageous things that a military commander could do. Louis Gohmert. And as it comes to a close, let's not forget that these things, these silly, silly things, these Republican senators, congressmen, presidential candidates said, didn't have real consequences. Twice at a Mississippi base where troops were taking part in these exercises, twice fire was opened on these military bases by people fearing this Jade Helm conspiracy. That's right. Two times, God-fearing, gun-toting conservatives fired on American troops. And that's not it. 3 men in North Carolina were arrested last month after authorities found that they were building an arsenal, including bombs, to fight back against this military takeover. There's still one more day, folks. Today is the last day. Who knows what can happen in these next 24 hours? Maybe the takeover will happen. Or maybe those 5 people, the 3 planning on building an arsenal, and those 2 who opened fire in Mississippi, maybe those 5 people, inspired by the words of Louis Gohmert, Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, Governor Abbott, maybe they stopped this hostile takeover.
It's going to happen. It's just not going to be Jade Helm.